Hi, this is Dr. Seymour Kern, and we're back on the air again, and we're up to Chapter 7 in my book, Low Noise Thinking. And let's discuss it. When we have conversation in a very, very quiet room, you can hear a pin drop. Isn't that so? But when you get out onto the runway of an airport, when you have a jet engine just about getting ready to take off, then you're going to have a lot of difficulty hearing that pin drop. So this is where the signal-to-noise ratio, it's a very simple formula which explains this all. So let us for the moment direct our discussion from internally generated mental noise, not sound, but quiet noise, but it's not so quiet, or disorganized information, and direct our discussion from internally generated mental noise in the brain to that physically generated from a number of various external sources. This could range from being able to converse softly with someone in a quiet room where you can even hear a pin drop, as we mentioned, to being able to converse with difficulty by screaming above the deafening sound of a jet engine at takeoff. Did you ever notice that? So it is possible to hear a pin drop if the noise in the room were next to zero or very, very low. Of course, when you have zero noise, that signifies death. It signifies complete, non-information, nothing. So these contexts are vital to our further understanding of low noise thinking when referring to what's known as the signal-to-noise ratio. More simply defined and stated for a more general understanding, we are saying that you will need to raise your voice above the noise level in order to be heard. The more you raise your voice above the noise level, the easier it becomes for someone to understand what is being said, including yourself. When expressed mathematically as a ratio or a fraction, you all know what that is. You have a numerator and a denominator. Okay, the signal is at the top, the numerator, and the noise is at the bottom or the denominator. You got that? Basic stuff, I'm sure you heard. The higher the ratio, the easier it is to understand what is being said. The noisier it gets when moving progressively from a quiet room to a loud disco and then to a noisy airport runway, the more energy one needs to expend in order for you to be heard and understood by someone else. Okay? I mean, you understand that, I hope. So sleep actually lowers the level of noise in the brain. It actually drops it down. So if it drops it down, then the ratio, so if the denominator is made lower, then the numerator is made higher in relation to the ambient or local noise. So sleep actually lowers brain noise in the denominator, thus increasing the signal-to-noise ratio. This lowering of the noise, in fact, indicates that intelligent speech is being detected even in sleep. Anyway, that ends Chapter 8, and we will begin shortly with, that ends Chapter 7, and we will begin shortly with Chapter 8, which discusses the two major categories of physical illness, namely neurosis and psychosis. Okay, tune in a little later.